afraid to take on a challenge. I'm not afraid to take a step. And if I fall, I fall. I pick myself up and I move on.
When Michael sticks that tongue out, I get nervous. Michael Jordan, right between the eyes.
You say, well, the young dogs are going to chase me around. Well, I'm not going to bark too far away from them either.
From North Carolina, number 23, Michael Jordan. Oh, did you see Jordan?
Guess what? I'm sitting back and welcoming the challenge, too. Everybody's motivated to come out and play against me.
Turned 39 years old on February 17th, but Michael Jordan can still score, and Michael Jordan can still pack him in. The Washington Wizards lead the NBA in home and road attendance, and it's packed in here today for the first regular season meeting between Air Carter and Air Jordan. The first of 3 regular season meetings. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Air Canada Center and the NBA on CTV. Dave Randorf along with Brian Heaney and Jay Serrano. This is definitely a lot better than sitting in the studio, isn't it?
Well, everybody in this building's here to cheer on the Raptors, but they're here to see Michael Jordan.
Yeah, great anticipation for this game. Great atmosphere here at Air Canada Center.
Lots to talk about as well. The Wizards are on a roll. The Raptors are not. Well, before these guys that chime in with their thoughts, let's throw it over to the guys who will call all the action. Here's Rob Black and Leo Rowe.
All right, thank you, guys. They didn't even pay for those seats, by the way. This is Michael Jordan's second visit to the Air Canada Center. He played in the preseason against Vince Carter for the first time ever. But that was a preseason game, and they're downplaying this game, saying it's just another game. But I don't believe it.
Exactly, Rod. Despite comments to the contrary by both players, you can bet that this game means a lot more than that. They are both tremendous competitors. Michael Jordan had 22 in their preseason meeting, 5 of 17, as you would expect, struggling with his shot early on. Vince Carter, 31, 10 of 23 from the field. Vince Carter stepped up big, including a block shot late in the game against Michael Jordan.
Both are former stars of the University of North Carolina Tar Heels. Vince Carter today on facing Air Jordan.
He's not guarding me, and I'm not guarding him. So, you know, I just come out there and do my job night in and night out. That's what it's all about. You know, I have to get up and be ready to play every night. You know, of course, they're not Michael Jordan, but you know, I still need to go out there and defend my man. So, you know, and right now I have to worry about Richard Hamilton. You know, he's the one actually doing the job for the team as far as putting the points up there. So I have to worry about him.
I'm not buying it. Big game for both teams. A bigger game for the Raptors because they have to get it going. They have been playing lousy basketball.
They really have, Rod. When you look at the Raptors since November 25th, which may have been their best game of the season from start to finish, they've gone 3 and 5, scoring just 90 points a game. Their field goal percentage is dismal. They're allowing points to be scored by opponents much higher than normal, and they're not getting to the free throw line, which tells you they're just not being aggressive enough, Rod.
Well, aggression will help today, but also one big addition. His name, Antonio Davis, is back in the lineup with Sunil Joshi now.
Antonio Davis, I guess the good news is that you're ready to play, ready to start. The question is just how hard can you go in terms of the game? At what level are you?
Well, when I said I was going to be ready to go, I'm going to be ready to go. There is no at what level. I think that was the reason for me staying out as long as I stayed out, to make sure that when I came back, I was ready to perform. And the only way to find out is to get out on the floor and continue to try to do the things that you've been doing.
Raptors need Antonio Davis in a big way. As cold as the Raptors are, the Wizards are red hot. Is that because of you know who?
Well, Michael Jordan obviously is going to have a lot to do with anything the Wizards do, simply because he attracts so much attention. But look what the team has done. 5-0 in their last 5 games. They're scoring well. They're defending very well, just 83 points a game. They're shooting close to 50%. And Richard Hamilton averaging 24 points a game during that span, also getting 5 assists. But remember, everybody benefits from Jordan's presence.
Well, one guy who's really benefiting is another Tar Heel. Rookie Brendan Haywood having a great start to his NBA career.
Well, his impact has been huge on this team. The 20th pick in the draft, missed the first 12 games due to injury, but since then 7-3 since he's come back, and his numbers are even better over this win streak, Rod, averaging close to 9 points, 9 rebounds a game. His length and defensive presence have been a huge factor.
It's only a game in December, but don't tell it to 19,800 people.
Or
don't tell it to this guy or Carter and Jordan. Don't tell it to these guys too. Look, how did you guys get out of that studio, by the way? Did you get a permission note?
Triano had it written into his contract. Whenever Jordan's in town, we get to come to the studio. So good work by you and your agent, Jay. Gotta love that. You were talking about a good-looking rookie for the Washington Wizards. There's also going to be some focus on a second-year man for the Toronto Raptors, Mo Pete. His assignment today, guard Michael Jordan. He had the opportunity to do that during the preseason game, and here's what he had to say about that assignment.
Well, in the fourth quarter, I came down, and I think I reached in front of him, because that's when he was running the point. And he was like, you know, easy mode, you know, you got 5 fouls right now. You don't want to pick up your 6th foul. We just both started laughing. And, you know, we just laughed about it.
We'll see who's laughing after this game. But the bottom line is, it's no secret, Jay. Mo Pete has struggled this season. This is the type of assignment that can either spark his game or maybe make it worse.
Well, you're right, David. And, you know, it's a situation where Mo Pete has been in his, he's the second leading scorer on this team, but over the last 5, he has really struggled. And the diversion today of having to play defense against one of the best players, and he wants to be in a situation where he's not helping, or he doesn't require help from his teammates. If he can keep Jordan at bay and stay at home with him, the Raptors can be much better off.
Now, when Michael Jordan said he was coming back to play for the Wizards, everybody said, great, too bad he has nobody to play with. Not true. You're going to get a good look at a guy by the name of Richard Hamilton today, Brian.
Well, Richard Hamilton's really blossomed alongside of Michael Jordan. Here you see him posting up back to the basket, turn around, he can score in your face. He also has great ball handling skills. He can get up and down the court and then penetrate into the paint, scoring the easy baskets. He'll break your defense down. Worst of all, if you contain him there, he also has the ability to sting you with the three-point shot if you don't close him out. Rip Hamilton, along with Michael Jordan, one of the best scoring duos this year in the NBA.
All right, we got a game to play. Let's get the starting lineup. Here's the PA announcer in Toronto, Herbie Coon.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are the starters for the teams. First, for the visiting Washington Wizards. From Murray State, a 6'8" forward, number 54, Popeye Jones. From North Carolina, a 6'6" forward, number 23, Michael Jordan. From Georgetown, a 6'9" center, number 55, Jahidi White. From UConn, a 6'7" guard, number 32, Richard Hamilton. And from Clemson, a 6-foot guard, number 12, Chris Whitney. The head coach of the Washington Wizards is Doug Collins. Texas El Paso, a 6'9" forward, number 33, Antonio Davis. From Michigan State, a 6'7" forward, number 24, Morris Peterson. From Houston, a 7-foot center, number 34, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. From Villanova, a 6'5" guard, number 20, Alvin Williams. And from North Carolina, a 6'6" guard, number 15, Vince Carter. Ladies and gentlemen, the head...
So, His Airness back in the NBA. Air Jordan at the Air Canada Center. Next on CTV.
on CTV. Brought to you by Molson Canadian. I am Canadian. And by Rogers. Imagine a better wireless world.
And welcome back to Air Canada Centre in Toronto. Vince Carter, Michael Jordan, first meeting in a regular season in the NBA ever. Remember when Michael Jordan retired from the game, it was the lockout-shortened season, and that was Vince Carter's rookie season in the NBA. Lenny Wilkens has to be concerned about his basketball team. Not playing well, not communicating. They have lost 3 in a row. Doug Collins, the former Philadelphia 76er, former coach of the Bulls, former broadcaster too, we might add. And his team has won 5 straight, 8 of their last 11. Our officials this afternoon, Terry Durham, Bill Spooner, Rodney Mott. Welcome to the NBA on CTV this afternoon, everybody. Antonio Davis back to Alvin Williams. Vince Carter working on Michael right away. First basket to Air Carter.
Hey, wait a minute. I thought they weren't supposed to be matching up against each other. What's going on here, Rod? Vince Carter aggressively taking it to the bucket. That's what the Raptors need to start things off.
Popeye Jones, former Raptor, gives it off to Chris Whitney, who was actually cut by the Raptors in their expansion season, and he nails a 2-pointer. Good shot by Chris Whitney.
Chris Whitney actually caused the first rift between former coach Brendan Malone and Isaiah Thomas, then general manager in the Raptors' first year in existence.
Some good matchups. Antonio Davis finally back in the Raptors lineup, 5 games away with a bad left knee. Hakeem Olajuwon over Jahidi White.
It usually means good things when the Raptors look to start inside and establish that inside game.
Michael Jordan watched by Morris Peterson. Whitney watched by Alvin Williams. Jordan, first shot for him, all net.
Rod, you can tell that his knee is bothering him. As he caught the ball, he winced, so he's definitely feeling pain in his knee, but knowing Michael Jordan, he's going to play right through it.
A wince, then a wink.
Yeah, exactly.
4 all. Olajuwon again. Back-to-back baskets for Hakeem the Dream.
Rod, we saw it in San Antonio earlier in the week when Hakeem Olajuwon touches the ball early. Good things happen. That doesn't just include his scoring.
Jordan stopping again, and Michael Jordan over Morris Peterson.
Yeah, Mo Peterson has to understand you got to stay on your feet. This is not the same Michael Jordan of the past. You have to stay down, challenge a shot, but do not commit in the air.
Jordan playing defense on Carter at the other end and right up on him. Vince to Antonio Davis. Inside, muscling his way through. Rebound by Jahidi White, who is as big as a house. Rip Hamilton. Whitney launches a 3-ball. Olajuwon the rebound. Morris Peterson trying to get it to Antonio Davis. The big flush from Antonio Davis.
Well, Popeye Jones looking for some weak side help. Antonio with a quick first step. He has to take advantage of that in this situation.
8-6. Toronto. Both teams showing some good offense early, except for that play by Rip Hamilton. Gave it right into the Raptors' hands. Peterson. Feed inside to Davis. Blocked but fouled.
A great look inside by Mo Peterson, Rod. That's exactly what the Raptors have to continue to do. Keep the game simple. The defense are making mistakes right now. Here's the previous bucket by Antonio Davis. That quick first step on the catch and taking it strong to the bucket. No rotation. And simply put, again, no rotation. By the time it comes down, another foul. This time Antonio Davis, Rod, he's going to have an immediate impact on this game, as we can see, several ways. If he can score, that's bonus early, but you know he's going to be a presence at the defensive end in terms of his block shots and his rebound.
He has been a spectator. He's been doing a lot of cheerleading over the last 5 games, but has been doing a lot of watching. And what he says he has been seeing and not hearing is a lot of communication from the Raptors on the floor.
Especially the defensive end, Rod, where you can cover up a lot of mistakes simply by talking.
Hamilton, former NC2A champion, like this guy. Jordan on Peterson. Shot clock at 6. Michael. That shot is off. Popeye Jones, he's a hustler.
He's a great offensive rebounder, never takes his eyes off the ball, does a great job with positioning and anticipating shots being taken.
Popeye has seen a lot more action the last 2 games. Christian Laettner out of the Washington lineup with a broken leg. Richard Hamilton in and out. Alvin Williams, the rebound. Raptors on the run. Peterson stops. Gets it back out to Alvin Williams. Vince Carter, 3-ball. Yes.
Great job by Mo Peterson following up his own miss. Alvin Williams, quick pass to Vince Carter. Got to keep him involved, Rod.
Whitney cleared out now. Good cutter there. Hamilton, but he's fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Fouled by Vince Carter.
Rod, since his days at the University of Connecticut, Richard Hamilton is exceptional at moving without the basketball. He's a good spot-up shooter. He can catch it off curls and shoot. He can also put the ball on the floor, create his own shots, but he really moves well. He uses screens. He's constantly slashing, and once he gets in here, he's pretty good at drawing the fouls, getting the defense to commit. This team, it's a young Wizards team, Rod. They're still adjusting to playing with a great player like Michael Jordan. This team is going to get even better. If you consider they had 19 wins last season, they have 10 already, and they're not even where they're going to be. Unfortunately, that loss you previously mentioned of Christian Laettner the other night is a big loss. A lot of folks feel he's been playing his best ball in the last 5 years over this recent period.
Toronto has scored on 6 of their first 8 possessions. Olajuwon to Antonio Davis, and Popeye Jones fouled him. Again, he will shoot 2.
Well, you can tell Antonio Davis is feeling better just by his position that he's trying to establish early on. He's working very hard to keep Popeye Jones or anybody guarding him on his back. Great job of getting into the lane. And what you want to do is take your man further than you want to, exactly like Antonio Davis is doing. So when you catch that ball, you get a great angle to the basket. Talking to Antonio Davis before the game, Rod, he said, I needed to take that extra time. I might have been able to come back a little sooner, play with the pain, play with the swelling, but I wanted to be able to be a 100% contributor on the floor, so I took a little bit more than maybe I should have, but hopefully that'll pay dividends.
Definitely gut check time today for the Raptors, and it is early in the season, but Lenny Wilkins knows that his team certainly has more talent than that 12-11 record would indicate. The same record, by the way, that this team had a year ago, albeit with different personnel. Jordan working on Peterson. Back out to Hamilton. To Michael. Michael Jordan made his first 2 shots today, but he has missed a lot more shots than he has made this season.
And that's normal, Rod, until he gets his rhythm and gets his legs back. But he's trying to post up a lot, take advantage of his strength. Mo Peterson can't go to help and leave Jordan. He's going to leave that to the big guys.
7.5 minutes first quarter. 7-point Raptor advantage. Davis on the floor. Popeye Jones gives off to Chris Whitney. Hamilton working on Carter, knifing inside, and he is fouled.
Hamilton again showing his versatility and quickness around the basket, Rod, getting in the lane, and that big step right there, drawing the contact. Now he's going to put a lot of pressure on Vince Carter. Vince Carter has to deal with 2 things right now. Defensively, he's being played by one of the best defensive players of all time in Michael Jordan. He's going to be very physical, not as quick, but Jordan is very smart and extremely physical, and he's going to get under your skin knowing what bothers you, and that's the key of Michael Jordan's game. On the other side of the coin, Vince Carter's got to guard Richard Hamilton, whose constant movement is going to wear him down during the course of this game.
Michael Jordan is Vince Carter's shadow right now. Every time Vince goes to the left, Michael is right with him.
And you can bet that Michael Jordan's watched a lot of tape. Vince has reacted negatively to a lot of contact at times this season, and you can be sure that Michael Jordan is going to provide that contact to get Vince off his rhythm.
Carter left alone. 3-pointer, no go. Wizards push the ball now, trailing by 5. Richard Hamilton fouled by Morris Peterson.
And Morris Peterson is trying to figure out what's happening right now, regardless of who he has. They're going at him, whether it's Jordan, this time in a situation where he picked up Richard Hamilton because Vince Carter was the first man back and he took Michael Jordan.
Rip Hamilton won the NCAA championship, was the most outstanding player of the Final Four in 1999. They beat Duke, and of course Morris Peterson's Michigan State Spartans won the following year the NC to a championship, and Peterson played a big role, of course, for his team.
And Doug Collins playing a big role, Rod, when you talk about factors for teams' improvement and success in this club. Michael Jordan handpicked Doug Collins while a general manager for the Washington Wizards, simply because he knew that Doug Collins will push and teach a young group of players.
Alvin Williams knocking down about a 17-footer. Raptors 17, Washington 11. 6.5 to go first quarter. Jordan off to Hamilton, who sees a lot of the basketball. Season high against the Knicks the other night. Big win for Washington. They've been surprising a lot of basketball teams. And a few weeks ago, Michael Jordan said, "We stink."
That's right, after a loss to Cleveland. That's the Cleveland before they turned the corner with the return of Zydrunas Ilgauskas. He really chastised his team, said this is not a good team, we're not playing well. And since then, he's had less of a scoring role and more of a playmaking role. Here doing a great job of getting the offensive rebound and drawing the foul.
Michael Jordan fouled by Vince Carter. Go to the line and shoot two. Michael will.
And Michael does so many things well. People don't realize how good a rebounder he is. Why? Strong, as I mentioned, very physical, but he understands the game. He knows how to get position. He's also a great passer against something that's overlooked because of his scoring abilities. But Michael Jordan, if you're open, he'll find you.
And becoming more of a passer now. Later in his years, in this third coming of Michael Jordan,
well, he knows
realizing he can
simple,
and realizing perhaps that he can't do what he used to do, at least not with the effectiveness he once did. Carter shakes off Michael Jordan and nails the three.
And that's what you want to do against Jordan, Rod. Work real hard to get open. If you have that opening, take that shot quickly, make him work harder to get there, and once he starts getting there, that's when you look to adjust and put it on the floor.
Vince Carter has 8. Jordan. Hamilton. Shot clock coming down, and Rip Hamilton rips it again.
Yeah, Vince Carter really has to get a lot more aggressive against Richard Hamilton. He's got 7 points already, and that's what I was talking about. This is going to be wear and tear on Vince Carter, having to deal with both of these players at both ends of the floor.
6-point Raptor lead. Vince again, Michael right up on him.
You can see the adjustment Michael made, getting a lot tighter.
Vince to the rim and on the floor, and it will be a loose ball. And it will be a timeout, Toronto. It will be Washington ball. And Vince Carter whistled for another infraction. Vince Carter, 8 points in the 3 ball. But a couple of fouls already. It's a 20-14 lead, Toronto, on CTV.
Rod, watch Michael Jordan's defense. On this play, he gets caught. Vince Carter sets him up on the screen, does a great job, catches and pops. Now, Michael Jordan, his key to his game is how smart he is. Watch what he does right here. He's going to anticipate this screen coming. He will get right up on Vince and trail him out, which is what you're supposed to do against a great shooter. He sticks that arm out, he gets around the screen, and look at that. He's right up saying, that's it, no more shot. What's your next option? Show me what you can do. He does a good job of forcing Vince baseline. The help doesn't come like it should, but he forces a tough shot.
And Michael Jordan with 5, Vince Carter with 8. And it will be Toronto ball, fresh 24. Vince Carter wanted a foul on the play. Again, Michael up on him. Vince, a leaner, is good.
Now another adjustment, this time by Vince Carter. Michael Jordan really overplaying Rod, trying to not let Vince get that shot again. Vince doing exactly what he needs to do. Attack the basket, take that pull-up jumper.
Peterson stole it from Jordan and then made him pay. 3 ball, Morris Peterson.
Alert play by Mo Pete. Keep the hands up, keep them active. And he needs to knock some shots down early to feel good about his shot.
Raptors have had a bit of a malaise early in ball games during this dry run they've had in late November, early December. Hakeem Olajuwon gets the loose ball. Raptors ahead by 11. Carter will go to the line. He's fouled.
Excellent job by the Raptors to push the ball up the floor. One of the things they have not been doing in recent games, Rod, is even when they make the stop or get the rebound, they don't push it up the floor. This time, getting it up to Vince Carter, you want to let players do what they can do in the open floor. And Vince Carter is a great open floor player. Give him the ball, let him operate. Vince looking for contact early.
key for the Raptors is to get to the free throw line, something they haven't been doing very often this season. And for Vince Carter, Tyronn Lue, you saw him into the game for Chris Whitney. Jahidi White goes out, and we see the rookie Brendan Haywood, the 20th overall pick from the Orlando Magic, and then traded from Orlando to Washington for Laron Profit. And I'd say that the Wizards are profiting from Brendan Haywood in that trade.
He has great length. He's a good presence around the basket at the defensive end. Roddy can score garbage points near the hoop as well.
Hamilton, crossover, back out to Tyronn Lue. That's a two-point effort from the former Laker who had a couple of championship rings with Shaq and Kobe.
And Tyronn Lue will come into the game firing. He's not shy. He's very aggressive when he steps in.
4 minutes to go, first quarter.
And see the distance Brendan Haywood is keeping. That shows that he has some poise already at the defensive end.
And some respect for Olajuwon. Peterson, rainbow shot, no go there. Antonio Davis the rebound.
Well, Antonio Davis is working the rookie now, the high school rookie Kwame Brown.
And Vince Carter is fired up.
Vince making a great adjustment on Michael Jordan. Michael turned the wrong way. Vince went to the open spot and got himself a great look.
15 points for Vince Carter on 5 of 7 shooting. Raptors turning it on first quarter here, 30-14. Jordan trying to dust Morris Peterson, but lost the ball.
And we talked about staying down against Michael. Mo Peterson right now, the jitters are gone. He's staying down. He's moving his feet. He's got good lateral quickness. And if Mo Peterson has enough strength to stay with Jordan. Now at the other end of the floor, see Michael Jordan right over here in the middle of your screen. He loses track of Vince Carter. He's going to step up. Vince gets behind him. And the missed shot. If you watch again, just keep watching Michael Jordan. As the drive comes, loses track of Vince Carter.
Vince Carter just hit a rainbow three over Michael Jordan again. Oh, just another game, huh? 18 for Carter. And now Vince up on Michael. The former Star Heels, North Carolina, both of them, Vince and Michael. And ever since Vince Carter entered the NBA, the comparisons have been inevitable.
And really, a lot of those comparisons just natural. The same college and both high flyers. Obviously, Vince in his prime, and Michael Jordan, former Air Jordan.
Not in the air too often anymore. Kwame Brown, the high schooler last year, #1 pick from the Washington Wizards, and an inbounds play that the Raptors fell asleep on, and Brendan Haywood was right there for the dunk. 33-20.
Alert play by Brendan Haywood. That's what I'm saying about. He's made an immediate impact for the Wizards.
Antonio Davis. Vince Carter wants it. Double team. Tyronn Lue from the other side. Michael got a hand on it. Shot clock's at 5. Peterson on Hamilton. Shot clock at 3. Knocked out of bounds by Peterson, and he's hurt. He's on the floor and in a lot of pain.
Richard Hamilton was swiping at the basketball. Rod looked like he may have caught him in the side of the face.
So Peterson goes to the bench. Wizards will have the ball when we come back, but they need to go on the run. It's all Raptors, all Vince Carter right now.
The power of
Coming up later tonight on CTV, the classic Take the Voyage Again with Titanic, the Oscar winner. 9 o'clock on CTV tonight. Titanic. And Brendan Haywood alertly, watch this play, coming right back into the fray on the inbounds play. And Brendan Haywood, who had the all-time best field goal percentage.
I really like this game, Rod. I think a lot of teams made a mistake, and quite possibly the Toronto Raptors, in passing up on him. When you look at his numbers throughout his college career, he got better every year. He didn't dominate, and that was the question mark, but he got better every year. And besides, how many Carolina players really dominate individually in the statistics department?
Rich Hamilton just before the shot clock. Keon Clark into the game. Michael Jordan is out, and he has ice packs on his knees.
He's definitely hurting, Rod. You could tell, as we talked about in his very first shot in the game, wincing as he's going up for the shot. Took a lot of time, came out very late in the warm-ups, which means you can bet he was getting treatment on his knees.
Well, he has said that his body is sending him messages, and he has to listen.
Well, the tough
38 years old.
Well, the tough part, Rod, he came back much heavier than he was in his playing weight in his prime, and that takes its toll.
And had to lose it.
Yeah, you had to lose it, but you're playing while you're losing it, and that's really stressing out your knees. And I can tell you from a personal note that from stopping playing for a couple of years at one point in my career, I gained a lot of weight, and I tried to lose it and get back into playing again, and it took its toll on my knees as well, simply because you have to play to lose the weight and get in game shape. You're carrying way too much weight, and it's just not healthy for you.
But look how buffed you are now. That's the thing. Kwame Brown hits the first free throw. Del Curry will check in. And let's join Sunil Joshi.
Gentlemen, just updating Morris Peterson has a sprained neck. They sent some ice packs down to pop it on his shoulder and neck area, and he's going to stay right by the bench area. He's not coming into the locker room next 15.
33-21. Antonio Davis pulling down a rebound. One more rebound. He becomes the Raptors' all-time leading rebounder in their short history, ahead of Charles Oakley. Vince Carter working on Tyrone Nesby. Good ball player, Nesby is. Del Curry watched by Richard Hamilton. Shot clock at 5. Pick and roll with Keon Clark. Will have to shoot it. He does. And Antonio Davis has the ball.
Antonio Davis playing against the rookie Kwame Brown. He wants the ball back, and Chris Childs recognizing it. Tyronn Lue getting a piece of that, and that's exactly what the Raptors have to do. When you see a young player like Kwame Brown, Rod, you know that he's got to make a lot of adjustments. Antonio Davis is an experienced physical power forward. They have to go and attack the high schooler.
23 seconds left, first quarter, dominated by Toronto and this guy. And he's followed by another alum from North Carolina, Brendan Haywood.
Vince Carter looking at Brendan Haywood, say, hey, come on, big fella, you know you're not going to block my shot, so don't even try it. Vince off to a great start.
2 free throws here would tie Vince's most points in a quarter. Most recently, November 7th against Golden State.
Vince Carter coming off the screen. Now he's hot. He's knocked 4 or 5 threes down, so he gets the defense up in the air and draws the contact. And what you like about Vince's start, Rod, he's putting up big numbers, but his percentage is great. 6 of 8, 4 of 5 from 3. And he's also getting to the free throw line, which is critical, not only for Vince Carter, but it has a residual effect on his team.
Jinxed him, of course, by talking about the 20 in the first quarter. Never do that. 7 seconds. 5 in the quarter. Leaner by Richard Hamilton. 2.7 left. Chris Childs will throw one up. He's got a chance. No. 34-23. Vince Carter 19 first half points, and Michael Jordan looks like he's hurting. You're watching the NBA on CTV. Very significant right now, Leo Routens.
Assists. Exactly. Toronto Raptors 8 assists to 2 for Washington. Keep these numbers in mind. The Raptors on the season, when they get 25 or more assists a game, are 7-0, and they shoot above 47% for the game. Numbers are pretty simple. You move the ball, you spread it around, you get it inside, you get good shots, and you win games.
Michael Jordan on the bench. Vince Carter with 19 in the first quarter, 6 of 8. Absolutely sizzling. Despite playing with a bruised right calf, that tensor bandage on it. Bruised it in San Antonio. Great backdoor play. Tyronn Lue to Tyrone Nesby, who went high to the rim and was fouled.
Well, Raptors showing some extended pressure that time, trying to hold the ball up, but Tyronn Lue just putting the ball on the floor. Great little fake on that pass to Nesby, who goes up strong. Tyrone Nesby is a very good athlete, Rob. He can come in the game and he gets up and down the floor. He's going to look to score in transition. You really have to keep this group in a half-court set because they're going to struggle to score other than Richard Hamilton.
Came over from the Los Angeles Clippers, a trade for Cherokee Parks and Obina Akizi, a couple of former Vancouver Grizzlies. Carter trying to shake off Nesby on the screen. Del Curry and Chris Childs play catch. Antonio Davis to Vince. 3-ball again is short. Brendan Haywood has the rebound off to Richard Hamilton. 10-point game, Toronto. Kwame Brown, just a youngster and a lot of potential, has great hops. And the whistle away from the ball.
Chris Childs getting caught for hanging on to Richard Hamilton. Obviously, Richard Hamilton very well without the ball, as we've talked about. And Chris Childs realizes that, trying to prevent him from moving where he wants to freely on the floor.
First high schooler ever selected #1. Kwame Brown
did a lot of good things in the summer league. Rod, I got the chance to do a couple of his games this summer in Boston and really played well.
Haywood is short into the hands of Keon Clark. Childs pushing it down. Raptors look to go on a run again. Clark to Davis, open 14-footer. Teron Lue batted it to Richard Hamilton.
Right now, one thing the Raptors cannot do is just settle for a perimeter game. They started this game off aggressively looking to attack the basket. They have to continue to do that.
Kwame Brown off on that shot.
He can shoot it. Kwame Brown can step out top of the key in. He's a very good shooter.
Raptors lose the ball. Lue stops. Looked like he might have been fouled by Keon Clark, but what a flush there by the long and lean Kwame Brown.
And see, Kwame Brown was drafted as a center, but you could see by his body and his ability to get up and down the floor, he is a power forward in the NBA. Did a great job of running the floor, not giving up on a play. And that's what you want all your big guys to do at all times.
Tyrone Nesby with the foul on Vince Carter.
Rod, one of the things with Kwame Brown is see the foul by Nesby trying to be very aggressive against Vince Carter. With Kwame Brown this summer, that he ran the court from top of the key to top of the key. Even though he played very well in the summer league, he never covered the entire of the floor. Now you see him extending, and that's Doug Collins' influence on his game as well as Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan has become an on-floor coach, hasn't he?
Well, you can't get a much better coach than Michael. Understands the game so well and willing to pass that knowledge onto his teammates.
Well, even if you look on the bench, there's Doug Collins. 2 assistants, then Michael sitting there almost as an assistant coach as well, shouting directions out to the floor.
And during this win streak, Michael's minutes have been reduced. Doug Collins exerting a little bit more influence on Michael, telling him you got to take care of your body, you can't stress yourself, you need to take more time and sit so you can be more effective when you're on the floor.
Also sitting on that bench is former Raptors assistant Brian James, who went to join Doug Collins, his old friend, with the Washington Wizards. He was an assistant under Lenny Wilkins, and before that, Butch Carter.
Brian James coached Doug Collins' son in high school, and that's where their relationship began.
9.5 minutes before halftime. 34-26. Play a little scattered right now. Keon Clark trying to reverse it was no good. Teron Lue quickly up court. Richard Hamilton, open shot. Brendan Haywood back to Nesby. Wizards can't find the basket right now. And that's a good thing for the Raptors because they haven't exactly been lighting it up over the last couple of minutes.
And again, settling for outside shots, Rod, that's something the Raptors fall into a groove of, and you've got to get out of that. And you can see Teron Lue, he's just going to push that ball up the floor every single possession. Raptors, great first quarter, very aggressive, attacking. Now they're passive, settling for the jump shot.
And letting the Wizards right back in it. 34-28.
Do it.
One week from today, a couple of days before Christmas, and all through the house, Miami Heat will be in Toronto to play against the Raptors. Coming up at the half, our studio dogs are in the house. We actually bought them tickets to be here today. Randorf, Triano, and Heaney. They'll spotlight Mo Pete, Rip Hamilton, Vincent Michael. That's coming up at the half.
Rod, Tyronn Lue has done a great job. Michael Jordan has sat down in this game, and the Wizards have actually been more effective during that time, but the Raptors have contributed to that, Rod. From 55% shooting in the first quarter, the Raptors are down to 44% simply because they're making the game a lot more difficult and taking tougher shots. Lenny Wilkins, you know, wants his team to continue to be aggressive. That's been a problem for his team. Consistency at both ends.
They have fallen into a number of lulls almost in every game this season. And sometimes haven't been able to get themselves out of their own burial.
Well, Rob, the Washington Wizards right now have two rookies on the floor inside, Brendan Haywood and Kwame Brown, and the Raptors are paying them way too much respect by not attacking them.
6-point game. Raptors did have a 19-point lead at one time, and Brendan Haywood step into the paint and a nice basket for the rookie.
Yeah, that was an excellent move. He knows he doesn't have to do that much. Get that position. If you can get that low to the block, drop step, go up strong.
4-point game now. Vince Carter hasn't scored in a while. Del Curry had it blocked by the rookie. Olajuwon got it back. And once again, the Wizards take over and a chance to cut into it even more. Wizards have come a long way back thanks to Tyronn Lue. Nesby had it blocked by Clark. Raptors the #1 team in the NBA for blocked shots. Keon Clark in transition. The Raptors finally doing some running.
And Raptors very fortunate on that play. Keon Clark making a great block shot. Raptors had no business getting the rebound. Three blue shirts on the offensive glass.
Raptors lead the NBA in blocks and steals, but are 19th in scoring and 21st in field goal percentage.
A lot of it is shot selection now.
Knocked out of bounds, Washington ball.
As we're seeing in this game right now, shot selection influences your percentages a great deal. Tyronn Lue doing a great job of getting down the floor. You see the blue shirts surrounding the basket and the offensive rebound. But Keon Clark coming from out of bounds, saving the play, and then running the length of the floor to get the pass from Del Curry.
Suddenly, attention is turned to number 23 again. It's almost a buzz in the building. I guess all buildings in the NBA when Michael Jordan returns to the floor. And a quick inbounds play. And so far today, the Wizards are really capitalizing close to the basket. 36-32.
Well, Rod, the last thing you give up on an inbounds play is a layup. You take the basket, you protect the basket, you force everything out, not in.
Steal, Michael Jordan.
Lenny Wilkins really upset right now, his team playing so passively.
It's almost as if, and we've talked about this ad nauseum this season, they feel they can turn it on and off at will.
And you really can. And you have to remember, this is the NBA. Even though you're playing a team that's not supposed to be that good, there are players that can turn it on, get it on a roll, and this Washington Wizards team now has won 5 games in a row. And they're feeling pretty confident of their play. Kwame Brown putting the ball on the floor, drawing a foul from Keon Clark. And what's discouraging when you watch a game like this, Rod, Kwame Brown, a high schooler, rookie. Brendan Haywood, a rookie that hasn't even played that many games because he missed his first 12 games. Raptors should be looking to attack these players, be physical with them, try to get them out of their game and get a psychological advantage on the younger players early on. They're not doing that right now, and a good part of this, Michael Jordan is sitting on the bench. That's got to be very discouraging for Lenny Wilkins.
Antonio Davis has returned to the ballgame to give them more of a force. He is an enforcer under the basket. Alvin Williams just dusted Tyronn Lue, who quickly came back and was right up on him.
Tyronn Lue is a guy that can be a real nuisance on defense. He will get in your face and hound you baseline to baseline.
Look at this. Carter, Jordan. Vince, a circus shot, rebound, got it.
See, that was great defense by Michael Jordan. Vince able to get the offensive rebound on that long bounce and put it up with that soft touch.
21 for Carter. Antonio Davis, the all-time leading Raptor rebounder now. 38-34. 6 minutes to go before halftime. Vince, far away, good.
All of a sudden, the aggression comes back with Vince Carter. Getting the offensive rebound, putting it back up, and that time, as soon as he caught the ball, Rod, you knew what he was going to do. Take that shot.
Smart timeout by Doug Collins and the Wizards. Raptors, who had a 19-point lead. The deficit cut down to 2, back up to 6. Vince Carter has 21 this afternoon. Over over Washington. Under 6 to go before halftime. Vince Carter has 23 points.
Yeah, just another game. Check out Michael Jordan in Vince Carter's face. Now, he does a great job defensively right here. Cuts him off. Cuts him off again. Challenges the shot, but hold it right there. Here's the difference. The young Vince Carter just goes a little higher. See, Michael Jordan has the block out, but he can't get up like he used to. Vince Carter wants the ball and then softly puts it back up. Nah, just another game, Rod.
And then the jumper the other way. Falling away. Before Carter's last 2 buckets, the Raptors only had 1 field goal in 8 minutes.
Really helping the Washington Wizards out with their shot selection during that period.
Raptors trying to get some confidence. In December, Michael Jordan, talk about confidence, always has had it ever since he grew up playing this game.
He's just so strong, able to get that shoulder into Mo Peterson. That fadeaway has been with him an awful long time, and regardless of how high he gets away from you and makes that shot.
Antonio Davis. Turnaround jumper, good for AD.
And that's a good move. Attack the rookie, go at him. Once you take that shot away, then look to get the shoulder in and put the ball on the floor.
Michael Jordan, by the way, 3 of 6 shooting for 7 points. Once Michael gets back into the rhythm of his shot, it could be scary. Jordan strong to the basket, will go to the line, picks up the foul.
See, what Michael Jordan is trying to do, Rod, he doesn't have that first step. He really can't break you down off the dribble like he used to, but he can post up. Now, the Wizards are not doing a great job getting the ball in scoring position in the post, but Michael's still able to use that strength and quickness to get inside and draw the foul. And also, another residual effect of him being in the post, Rod, is the passing. When that double team comes, anybody tries to get the ball out of Michael Jordan's hands, he's very good at finding the open man.
Of course, retired once before to play baseball, then retired to become an owner.
How about all the criticism when he retired to play baseball? If I had $100 million in the bank and felt like playing baseball, I'd do it too. Everybody said, what's this guy doing? Why not?
And then said there was a 99.9% chance as Akeem Olajuwon with a hook shot. 99.9% chance that he wouldn't come back. I like the .1.
The Rod, back-to-back hoops. Olajuwon and Davis attacking the rookies.
Next basket for Akeem. He will move into 7th all-time on the NBA points list. Nesby shot off. Morris Peterson the rebound. 44-38. Peterson, Jordan got a hand on it from behind.
Michael Jordan, great job of coming back at the other end of the floor. Raptors showing a little zone, Rod, really clogging up the middle and getting up on the shooters. See all the white shirts around the basket. Antonio Davis, Mo Pete, and Akeem Olajuwon zoning up, and there's Michael just enough to bother the shot of Mo Peterson.
4 minutes to go before halftime. Lou back to Nesby. Popeye Jones and Rip Hamilton will come in the game in a moment. Michael shakes off Morris Peterson. Haywood, good rebound underneath, and a foul against the Raptors.
It's that ability right there to get position, and he's so long he's able to easily get the rebound. Brendan Haywood was passed up by 19 teams before he was drafted, Rod. You cannot tell me that more teams in the league that passed him up could not use his abilities. Great position right here, keeps Olajuwon under the bucket, and has got great reach to go up and just get the ball. We've seen him score, we've seen him block shots as well. I really felt that he would have been a great addition to the Toronto Raptors. Think about it, with Akeem Olajuwon and Antonio Davis to teach this young man the ropes and how to play the game. No pressure with players like Vince Carter out in the perimeter. Brendan Haywood could really develop as a Toronto Raptor. I thought that would have been a great move for Toronto.
Well, Lenny Wilkins let the dog out. Here comes Jerome Williams. Akeem Olajuwon sits down. The Junkyard Dog, given that nickname by Rick Mahorn and Grant Long when he was in Detroit. Junkyard Dog was a famous wrestler, and they felt The way he was playing out there, he did some of his own wrestling.
Well, one thing very important for Jerome Williams, he's always aggressive, and that's what the fans love. But he's got to be smart in his movement, Rod. You just can't run all over the place and leave people open, as we've seen in some crucial times of the games where he's made some miscues on defense.
A week ago, no call there. Morris Peterson on the floor. Jerome Williams hangs on to the ball. Vince Carter now. 3:30 to go before halftime. Antonio Davis left-handed hook shot. Vince Carter can't get the putback. And speaking of wrestling, Junkyard Dog and Popeye Jones.
Well, two fanatical rebounders right there.
Very similar players.
Exactly. On the offensive glass, both love to crash. Jerome Williams tying up Popeye that time, but you also saw Brendan Haywood change the shot right here of Antonio Davis. Vince Carter made a great effort, just couldn't get it to stay down.
2 out of 3 falls.
Rod, area concern. We talked about free throws. The Wizards have been to the line 19 times. The Raptors just 8.
Mo Pete for 3. Haywood another rebound. Again, a 4-point lead only for the Raptors. Hamilton tried to send it back out to Michael Jordan. Knocked out of bounds by Toronto.
Hamilton really had nowhere to go. Tried to find Jordan. Mo Pete got a hand out. Knocked it out of bounds. In that area, Rod, of getting to the free throw line, Raptors really have to focus in on doing that, which they did early on. And there you see that pass by Richard Hamilton. Fortunately for him, Mo Pete knocked it out of bounds. He really had nowhere to go on the play.
Michael Jordan's return season to the NBA. Still doesn't look right, though, that uniform.
No, that's true. Very true. You need the red and black and the number 23 on that uniform.
Teron Lue jacks it up and hits it. And it's a 1-point ball game.
See, Michael Jordan put him in the post. The defense comes down to try to take away his post-up game. Somebody's open. Jordan finds him.
Teron Lue, 6 points off the bench. Double team now on Vince. Jerome Williams probably should have put it up. Peterson does. 3-pointer the other way for Morris Peterson.
Well, Vince Carter got the ball in the post. He was yelling for somebody to dive. Finally, Jerome Williams did, and that left Mo Pete wide open on the other side.
Michael Jordan, 9 points. Popeye Jones over to Teron Lue. And a foul away from the ball. It's Vince Carter. And that is number 3 on Vince. 3rd foul on Vince Carter. Mo Pete buries the 3. 4-point game.
Oh, the weather outside is...
Seconds till halftime. Dave Randorf, Jay Triano, Brian Heaney in the house today. We'll talk over 4 principals in this matchup today. Morris Peterson, Richard Hamilton, and of course the Jordan and Carter matchup. And they have been matched up against each other on more than a few occasions today, particularly Michael defensively on Vince. 47-43 Toronto.
Now Michael Jordan, quiet start, 9 points, looking to get his teammates involved. Vince Carter, 23, great start. Very aggressive early on, but Vince tapering off a little bit. There's the famous number 23, Michael Jordan. Rod, he is struggling in terms of dealing with pain. I think it's pretty obvious watching him on the floor.
But he has so much heart. That is the thing that separated. I mean, his talent was unquestionable, but it's his heart and his head. And no one wanted and still wants to win more on the floor than Michael Jordan.
Oh, absolutely. And, people forget that he's rarely missed games in his youthful days, and you think he wasn't hurt like a Karl Malone or John Stockton. They get hurt, they sprain their ankles, they get the back spasms, but they come to play. In Jordan right now, similar situation. He understands how difficult it is right now to be playing. He's still not where he wants to be. It's going to be painful. He's going to have to endure a lot of things, but he's still out there playing.
Doug Collins calls him the old gunslinger, the gunfighter. Challenges every night and doesn't blink. Still, 47-44, 2 minutes to go. Foul Richard Hamilton on Morris Peterson.
Doug Collins getting his group to defend. That's been the big challenge, to get this Washington Wizards team to play good defense. Their little grab by Richard Hamilton on Mo Peterson. Raptors shooting just 31% here in the second quarter, Rod. They only have 13 points after scoring 33 in the first.
Jordan the steal. Tongue out to Richard Hamilton.
That's a great job by Michael Jordan. Always looking. He's got great hands. He's so quick. And you know what? A lot of the steals come. And it's not athleticism, Rod. Yes, he does have the great hands, but it's positioning. He puts himself in a position to succeed at the defensive end.
That's like an early detection warning signal. When that tongue comes out, look out. Antonio Davis. Fall away. Here comes Washington. A chance to take the lead. Would be their first lead of the game. Not this time.
Nice hesitation move by Richard Hamilton. How about the defense by Brendan Haywood, Rod? Big shot there by Mo Peterson, but Brendan Haywood changing the last couple of shots by Antonio Davis.
50-46. Peterson has 9. Couple of big three-pointers. Lots of offense from both teams in this first half. Minute to go. Nesby bumped by Jerome Williams. Antonio Davis has 9 rebounds in this first half. Jordan another steal.
And again, positioning. Michael Jordan anticipating the pass, getting in front of Vince Carter.
Nesby wide open. Couldn't convert it. Wanted a foul. Final 30 seconds. Alvin Williams coast to coast. And they're saying Michael Jordan fouled him.
Michael Jordan, look at the officials saying he was
looks like he ran right into Michael Jordan.
At the other end, Washington missing some easy shots. Here we get a look at the ball, and from this angle, it did look pretty clean. Michael Jordan getting the ball right in front as Alvin Williams showed it. But Washington, Tyrone Nesby missing a couple of gimmies, and Washington could be going into halftime with the lead had they made those shots.
Michael has been hurting, of course, with the knee. He has had it drained this season. Raptors' first trip to the line this quarter.
And the Wizards have been to the line 21 times already in this first half.
Final 32 seconds. Differential of about 8 seconds. Shot clock to game clock. Wizards want to bring this closer before they head to the locker room. Michael wants the ball. Gets it from Nesby. Jordan left side. Inside. Almost lost it. Michael has it back. 4 on the shot clock. Short. Raptors will get one last gasp. 7 seconds. Jerome Williams. 3 seconds. From the elbow. Leaner. No good.
And the rookie again, Brendan Haywood, Rod, stepping up, changing the shot this time of Jerome Williams.
Very interesting first half. Raptors had a 19-point lead at one point. It's a 6-point game, 52-46. Vince has as many points as that number on Michael's back. And Jordan has 9. Here's Sunil Joshi.
Thank you, Rod. Vince, an energetic start to this game. Were you a little surprised to see Michael on you as much on the offensive side?
That doesn't matter. You know, I'm out here to play. I don't care who's guarding me. I'm going to do the job for the Raptors.
From a team standpoint, as I mentioned, an energetic start. Bit of a lull here, though, in the second quarter.
Yeah, you know, that's what we have to avoid for us to be a good team. You know, we're going to stay, we can be on top, we have to stay on top. And, you know, that's something we're going to address, I'm sure, in the locker room.
Okay. Good luck in the second half. Rod?
Vince Carter, game face on. Antonio Davis, welcome addition back to Toronto's lineup. What an addition this rookie is. Brendan Haywood doing the job. 52-46, the NBA on CTV.
NBA half.
Go inside, they'll have some success, you would think. Vince Carter, 23 points, only player in double digits for the Raptors.
Yeah, Vince Carter very aggressive early on. Richard Hamilton carrying the load for Washington right now. He's got 14. You see Michael Jordan with 9. But Brendan Haywood, as you said, Rod, Brendan Haywood doing an outstanding job, but Raptors not taking advantage of playing against basically youngsters down low in the blocks.
Starting fives back on the floor. Chris Whitney watched by Alvin Williams. Whitney didn't see a lot of floor time in that first half. Michael Jordan, first basket of this second half, a 4-point game.
Michael Jordan getting the ball right where he wanted to. I mentioned in the first half, Rod, they weren't doing a good job of getting him the ball inside where he likes it, where he can actually do something with it quickly. That time, Jordan getting the ball and making it happen.
Team Olajuwon 1 basket away from moving past Oscar Robertson into number 7 on the all-time NBA scoring list. Richard Hamilton over to Whitney. Hamilton has been lighting it up this season. Popeye Jones, flat shot, barely made it over the rim, but it was good.
A traditional line drive for Popeye. He doesn't shoot often, Rod, but every now and then he gets on a little streak, knocking down some more shots. Good pass inside by Alvin Williams.
Jahidi White, though, altered that shot. Antonio Davis comes back, and so do the Wizards. 52-50. And the Raptors, certainly in this slump that they've been going through, have had all kinds of trouble with the third quarter and coming out of the locker room. Alvin Williams with a 2-pointer.
Alvin Williams saw him drop that nice pass inside to Antonio Davis. He couldn't convert, but coming right back with the jump shot. You're right, Rod. Third quarters have been a tremendous struggle for the Toronto Raptors over the last 5-6 games. Very important for them to come out very aggressively in this first 5 minutes.
Is that something, do you think, that's happening inside the locker room? Do they need to be more motivated? What is it that this team has so much trouble kicking it back into gear coming out of the dressing room?
Well, I think they feel very comfortable that they can come out and just do whatever they need to do. Lenny Wilkinson wants them to show it. Don't wait for last second heroics. Get the job done early so you don't have to get to that point. You want to come out aggressively and give teams like Washington, that even though they're on a winning streak, an idea that they cannot win in your building.
You gotta make the call. The guy's all on top of it.
And jump ball, and a timeout, 20 seconds.
Pretty good defense there. Popeye Jones getting ahead of Mo Peterson, forcing Mo Peterson to lose his footing.
Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet tonight in Titanic, the classic. It's on CTV, 9 o'clock tonight. So the Raptors, in a 3-game slide, have lost 5 of 6. Have not played very well over the last couple weeks. Ever since that game against Philadelphia, Vince Carter turns, fires, and misses. Olajuwon on the floor, knocked out of bounds. It's Toronto ball.
Focus for the Toronto Raptors, Rod, when you're talking about third quarter woes, talking about being aggressive and getting off to a good start, is attacking the basket. Keep mentioning the free throw numbers. The Raptors have to look to find a way to get to the rim. Richard Hamilton picking up the foul that time, trying to keep Mo Peterson from roaming the baseline.
Morris Peterson has been in a sophomore slump.
And the Raptors really need him to step up and score. He's had a solid game thus far, 9 points, and of course doing the job defensively for the most part against Michael Jordan. The catch is, Rod, when you see the job Mo Peterson is doing, and here you see Vince Carter battling Michael Jordan. Michael getting that left arm up to nudge Vince Carter out of post position.
Michael has 2 fouls. Vince has 3. Good pass inside. Alvin Williams was off balance when he shot it, though. Olajuwon with a nice dish. Once again, the Wizards just trailing by 2. They have never led in this ball game. Trailed by 19 at one point. Jordan spinning on Carter inside. Good play to Popeye Jones. Jahidi White, the monster dunk underneath.
Jahidi White, when I watched him play at college at Georgetown, I really thought he was going to come into the NBA with a lot more freedom to roam around and dominate. He hasn't developed quite like you'd expect him to, but he's been on some pretty bad teams. Hopefully with Jordan in the fold, it's going to make it a little bit easier for Jahidi White to show what he can do. He's just so strong.
Shot clock at 6. Alvin Williams too strong on that shot. Olajuwon, good hustle to Antonio Davis, who slams it the other way.
A good look by Hakeem Olajuwon. Very good at finding his teammates in the lane.
Jordan to Popeye. Whitney, 56-54. Hamilton trying to drive on Carter. Pick and roll with White. Good play by the Wizards. It's going the other way. A charging violation against Jahidi White.
A nice job defensively. First by Vince Carter, not letting Richard Hamilton beat him off the dribble. Vince Carter playing with his feet, and then when the screen comes, Akeem Olajuwon steps up, Antonio Davis rotates over, and Vince also stays with the ball.
Lob pass to Carter, no good. Michael Jordan was right on him, and Alvin Williams' pass was too.
Vince Carter upset on that play, feeling Michael Jordan had a hold on Vince Carter, and Michael saying, of course I did. That's what I've been doing for my entire career.
Three-pointer to give Washington the lead.
Oh, great move.
Hamilton, a nice finger roll inside by Rip Hamilton.
Great little hesitation, and look at the rim, Rod. He completely throws Vince Carter and locked his feet.
18 points for Richard Hamilton, almost stolen by Jordan. Carter can't make it drop.
So you don't want to settle for that shot, Rod. Michael Jordan lunges for the ball, goes for the steal. That's an opportunity to take the ball to the bucket. Instead, you miss the shot. Jordan comes back at the other end and makes it.
To give Washington their first lead of the ball game. 58-56. Michael Jordan has 13, 5 of 11 shooting. The third quarter blues for the Toronto Raptors, and a whistle against Antonio Davis. Offensive foul.
Michael Jordan, the jumper at the other end. Chris Whitney pushing that ball up quickly. When the Wizards have looked to push that ball up the floor, Rod, they've given the Raptors a lot of trouble. Obviously, Tyronn Lue has been most effective at that, but they should continue to try to exploit that. It's been a problem for Toronto.
You're watching the NBA on CTV. Time in this ball game, 58-56, 7:16 to go, third quarter at the Air Canada Center.
Rod, Raptors in this quarter, just 2 of 8. And one of the reasons they're settling for the jump shot. Watch as Vince Carter comes up the lane. Jordan tries to steal the ball. Hold it right there. Look at this opportunity to dribble in. And when the help comes up, you're going to have big people and open players to find the open, make the passing lanes to. Instead, you settle for the jump shot. No rebounders, long rebound. Jordan scores at the other end on the jump shot. Very important to attack the basket, Rod. Get as close as you can and see what you can do. And you see the Raptors last 6 games. Just 19 points in the third quarter, and they only have 4 so far with 5 minutes ticked away. Nice job. Yeah, Michael Jordan is so good at getting Mo Peterson off his feet. Now remember, Mo Peterson lifted off his feet early in the first quarter. He adjusted to that, and now he's getting up again. You have to stay down on Michael Jordan.
Peterson trying to come off the screen is followed by Richard Hamilton. And Hamilton, that's number 3 for Rich Hamilton.
Well, you have to be impressed with the effort that Washington's making defensively. This is not an overly talented group, but Doug Collins has his team really coming out, challenging, getting into the lanes, and fighting hard, trying not to give up anything easy to Toronto.
Olajuwon working on Jahidi White. Fade away is good, and now Akeem Olajuwon is number 7 all-time in the NBA for scoring.
A nice move. Jahidi White just not mobile enough to stay with an Akeem Olajuwon.
60-58. Hamilton watched by Vince. And he rips the net.
Vince Carter hands down that time. Very concerned about the first step of Hamilton, giving him a little space. But when you do that, you have to have at least one hand up to try to challenge or bother that ball up, not make it an easy release.
Alvin Williams, Jahidi White with the rebound. Richard Hamilton has 20 points. Michael Jordan 15. Vince Carter has not scored in this quarter, still with 23 points.
Rod, Alvin Williams just 2 of 6 shooting. And you can't take that shot. When you're the point guard of this team and they're struggling offensively and just having all their points come from the perimeter, it's very important to move the ball and get it inside. Michael Jordan is just starting to heat up. Vince Carter's trying to defend him. Michael breaking the defense down. You don't want to get in a situation where the Wizards start building up this lead and you have to play catch-up.
And now they're playing one-on-one at both ends of the floor. Vince just watching Michael. Olajuwon again, in and out. Antonio Davis back out to Morris Peterson. Open 3.
Olajuwon didn't even have to move. Inside to Alvin Williams, easy layup.
Some good offensive rebounding for Toronto. Antonio Davis and Hakeem Olajuwon able to keep it alive to get the Raptors that hit.
Hamilton now watched by Carter again, and Vince Carter has picked up foul number 4.
Nice job by Richard Hamilton to quickly put the ball on the floor and penetrate. Olajuwon moving against Jahidi White to get 7th all-time scoring in the NBA.
Hamilton, pull-up jumper, and oh, he's so good at that. 22 points now for the former Husky.
Well, he's mixing his game up, Rod. We've seen him go to the bucket, he'll shoot off the dribble, he catch, shoot, face up. He does so many different things. He keeps you tense on defense, not knowing what he's going to do.
Peterson, quick shot. Michael Jordan rebound. Jordan on the go. 6-point Wizard lead. And a foul, Morris Peterson on Jahidi White.
A dangerous pass by Michael Jordan, Rod. As big as Jahidi White is, you don't necessarily want to give the big fella the ball on the move right there. Mo Peterson reaching in. The best play would have been Antonio Davis to get out of that semicircle, hold his ground, and I don't know if you really want to do it, but take the charge on a big moving target.
Keon Clark will return in a moment. And another foul. Morris Peterson again, now number 3.
See, the Raptors don't like these calls, but the first step is very effective for Washington right now. They're getting that first step by the defender, and then the contact is being made. Right there, you see Mo Peterson trying to recover and making the contact. He's looking for the foul himself. It's not a foul. The defender is the one with the contact.
Whitney, Hamilton turns. Rebound Davis. Number 12.
And right now, Alvin Williams has to assert himself on the floor. He has to say, here's what we're going to do right now. We're going to get some movement. We're going to swing the basketball. We're going to look inside. We're going to look to penetrate. Don't take the first available shot and don't settle for the 3. Another player that has to have that mentality is Mo Peterson, Rod. If you look back early in the season, when he was averaging around 19 points a game, he wasn't just taking threes. Mo Peterson was putting the ball on the floor, breaking his defender down off the dribble, as well as taking that stand-up jumper.
Raptors in a hole right now. Antonio Davis can't knock down that shot from the free throw line. Tyronn Lue back in the ball game. Wizards bench players have done a job here, outscoring the Raptors bench 21-2. Peterson almost stole it. Nesby to Lue. Open shot. Underneath the fight for it. The officials say Wizards ball.
Well, you can bet if there's a scrum under the bucket, one of the players that's going to be there is Popeye Jones. Always working on the inside position, this time using a technique called under and out, getting underneath the defender, Antonio Davis, and walking him back to get that inside position.
Hamilton knocked away by Keon Clark. Richard Hamilton has been all over the floor today. Steal Toronto. Vince. Carter. Plays catch with Peterson. Alvin Williams open jumper. No. Raptors shooting horribly in this quarter. 3.5 minutes to go, and the Bluebirds are out here.
Raptors fans getting impatient, as Lenny Wilkins is. Alvin Williams missing that shot. He's just 3 of 8. Raptors shooting just 25%. Look at the Wizards, right? 71.
Making Toronto pay. Lue. Carter the block. Shot clock expired. Michael Jordan on the bench. Effectively shut down Vince Carter in the quarter so far.
He's himself warming up a little bit. Michael Jordan with 17 points right now.
66-60. Usually guys put on ice bags in ball games when they're ready to call it a day.
Not when they're approaching 39 and sore as can be. Michael Jordan just enjoying that. One thing you learn, Rod, the older you get, the more ball you play, ice bags become very, very soothing. And
you got ice bags on you right here.
Exactly. Even broadcasting the game, they hurt.
Vince Carter has not scored in this third quarter. It's a Keon Clark. Popeye Jones fouled him, but the foul was on the floor.
And
no basket.
You talked about bench scoring. Keon Clark has to step up. He just has 2 points in this game. And remember, Keon Clark, as a starter, was scoring double figures every game in Antonio Davis' absence. They need that double figures off the bench right now.
Richard Hamilton, 22 points. Key buckets here in the third quarter, staking the Wizards to a 6-point advantage.
Each section be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
There is Canadian great Laurie Kane. Just won a tournament with partner Janice Moody, as a matter of fact. Pride of Prince Edward Island in the house. Her first ever NBA game. Michael Douglas, he's a regular. I think he's got season tickets here. He's a regular here.
Where's the missus, though?
You've been waiting for her to. And there's Scott Speedman from Felicity. And Donovan Bailey, who has something that Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Vince Carter all have. Only he did it a little differently. He ran. There's Donovan. Gold medals at the Olympic Games.
What a great title at one point. Fastest man in the world.
And speaking of gold medalists, what a quarter for Michael Jordan. Vince Carter has to get off the schneid here in the third quarter. 23 points in the first half. It's a 4-point ball game. Under 3 to go. Third quarter here at Air Canada Center this afternoon. Sellout crowd again, as it has been all season for the Toronto Raptors. Team that's still trying to live up to huge preseason expectations. Now Vince to Morris Peterson. What a play. What a play. Great feed. Vince Carter to Mo Pete.
And Rob, this is where the Toronto Raptors are at their best. When they push the ball up the floor, they seem to get very passive and content with walking it up, and that's when they lose a lot of their offense. Good job that time by Washington to look to attack the basket. This will be the first time they're getting to the free throw line in the second half. There's the pass from Vince Carter to Mo Pete. And at the other end, that's foul number 5 on Vince Carter.
Interesting subplot now. Vince has picked up more fouls this quarter than he has points. And he will sit down with 5 personals.
And Washington, again, looking to attack, Rod. Even when the Toronto Raptors score, you have to like the mentality of the Wizards. Lenny Wilkins picking up a technical. He didn't like the call, but the Wizards' mentality is this. Yes, you can score on us, but we're going to come right back. See, Nesby just going right at Carter, drawing the contact.
Lenny Wilkins, pretty cool customer, all-time winningest coach. We've seen him pick up a few tees in the last couple of weeks, getting increasingly frustrated with his ball club.
Well, he can coach and tell them everything he needs to tell them, Rob, but they have to get it done on the floor, and it's just not been happening. And you can see during the course of the game, Lenny's frustration growing at times when his team doesn't respond. It's something very obviously, and when you have a fair amount of veterans on your team, you really expect to be able to say things one time and it sink in, but it just hasn't been happening.
Raptors need to go on a run. Tyrone Nesby makes it 68-64.
Well, Rod, if you want to play the statistics, the Raptors better go on a run quickly. The Washington Wizards this season going into the fourth quarter with the lead are 9-0, 5-0 on the road. And a very different team if you want to play numbers when they don't have the lead. Doug Collins' team is 0-12 on the season, so obviously very comfortable with a little cushion going down the stretch.
Antonio Davis to the line. Tyrone Nesby with the foul. Of course, one of the reasons that they are so good in that fourth quarter, they have a guy who knows how to seal the deal.
And Michael Jordan provides him with a great deal of confidence down the stretch. Just knowing he's on the floor and everybody knowing the heroics and the wonderful games he's played and the strong finishes he's had, he gives everybody on the floor a great deal of confidence to know they can close out a game. Michael Jordan also puts the challenge to each and every player to step up in difficult situations.
Final 2 minutes, third quarter. Rough quarter for the Raptors. Trailing by 2 now. Good pick and roll. Kwame Brown inside to the other rookie who had it blocked by Keon Clark. But the Wizards got it back. Long 3 ball. before the buzzer by Tyronn Lue, who is now hobbling the other way.
Well, the rookie's just more aggressive than Toronto. Haywood and Kwame Brown especially really going after the ball, making a play out of something that could have easily been a turnover.
Alvin Williams shot the other way. That's a two-point effort, 71-68. Tyronn Lue trying to shake off what looked like an ankle injury. Did he ever gain a lot of confidence playing on that championship team under Phil Jackson?
Oh, a lot of confidence and a big contract, too. They liked what he did. Michael Jordan went after him to be the point guard for this Wizards team. Rod, as Lenny Wilkins told Sunil Joshi at halftime, that it's so important when you're playing the second group. There's that jump shot by Tyronn Lue off the nice feed from Kwame Brown. When you're playing a team with the second group on the floor and your subs aren't getting the job done, and Raptors have three starters on the floor right now. It's very frustrating again for Lenny Wilkins. And Richard Hamilton continues to play well. He's been consistent throughout this entire game. He's shooting for point number 25. He's been to the free throw line 11 times. He's made 9 of them. Been there almost as many times as the entire Raptors team. Have been there 14 times.
Alvin Williams quick shot again. Hamilton there for the loose ball. 73-68 Washington. Under a minute to go, third quarter.
About every time you see one of those jump shots go for the perimeter, all you have to do is look over at the Raptors bench and see Lenny Wilkins, Stan Albeck, and company just shaking their heads going, why? Why do we need that jump shot?
Stolen by Toronto. Jerome Williams over to Alvin Williams. Wizards quickly back on defense, though. Keon Clark, look for the hook shot. Blocked by Kwame Brown underneath. Antonio Davis hustling into the Washington bench, but knocked out of bounds.
Now, Rod, certainly it looked like there was a foul on that play. But the reason the Raptors aren't getting the call, because they're not attacking and being aggressive throughout the course of the game. As a result, even against a rookie, a high schooler, you're not getting the call heading into the fourth quarter. Nice job by Kwame Brown. He's got a good body on him, Rod. When he gets, again, even more stronger, more confident with Michael Jordan's help and Doug Collins, he's going to be a nice player in this league.
15 seconds to go. Third quarter. Only 12 points for the Raptors in this quarter. Kwame Brown. 3 seconds now. Morris Peterson driving, scoop shot, no go for Toronto. And Washington with a 5-point lead heading into the fourth quarter, and they've been dynamite heading into the fourth quarter with the lead. Richard Hamilton, 25 points in the game, 11 in the third quarter. Raptors trail by 5 at the ACC.
Driving to the playoffs is brought to you by Hyundai. Hyundai, driving is believing.
One of the teams that not many people gave much of a chance early in the season, and this season the Boston Celtics have won 9 of their last 10 games, a streak that really began here in Toronto. Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker, and the C's with a 14-7 record. Driving is believing.
Driving to the playoffs is brought to you by Hyundai. Hyundai, driving is believing.
If you happen to see even more people in Moore's these days.
From Doug Collins' team's defense. Look at the last 6 games. Raptors averaged 19 today, even less than that. Doug Collins' team has certainly worked hard in this game. But Lenny Wilkins has to find a way to get his group to answer the call. It's not the defense of the Wizards. It's the lack of offensive execution and intensity of the Toronto Raptors that has created that drought in the scoring.
Almost to the point of exasperation for the Raptor coaching staff. Morrison, 3 ball is short. It should be. No, it's not. It's Washington ball. Raptors say it went off a Washington player. Keon Clark continuing to say that's a bad call. That's a bad call, and their head coach concurs.
And Doug Collins using this opportunity of the Wizards holding the fort to keep Michael Jordan down on the bench for a strong finish.
Tyronn Lue, outstanding off the bench. Keon Clark slaps the basketball on the rebound. Vince Carter, by the way, was held scoreless in that third quarter.
And one of the players that has to step up is Mo Pete. He only had 2 points in the third quarter, Rod, and he's not gone to the free throw line yet in this game. And another missed shot, this time by Keon Clark, who only has 4 points. Again, scoring in double figures during Antonio's absence as a starter. Ineffective offensively thus far.
Number 24, you just saw, former Raptors Hubert Davis came over from the Dallas Mavericks. Great three-point shooter. Raptors better be careful because the Wizards, with Davis on the floor, could extend this lead.
Well, Michael Jordan has said he's not the future of this Wizards team. You look at players like Kwame Brown, players like Brendan Haywood, Tyronn Lue, Richard Hamilton. This is the future of the Wizards, and there's quite a bit to build on. That time, Tyronn Lue doing the job, drawing the charge. Michael Jordan reminding the coaches that he is on the bench and he wants to get in this game. But they're going to wait and try to give him as much rest as possible. Michael Jordan, a great relationship with Doug Collins. Again, he's the one that brought him to Washington. He played for him in Chicago. He knows exactly what Doug Collins can do. And hey, Michael Jordan looked over, and all of a sudden Doug says, "Hey, Michael, why don't you get in the game?" Hey, great idea, Coach.
And now Vince Carter back in the game. And
you know what I would have done to be able to put myself into a game like that?
You tried a lot. Apparently, you had a bullhorn, and they still weren't listening.
Oh my!
Played on this same team that Philadelphia's 76er team, and Doug Collins won an NBA championship.
Doug Collins was a tremendous point guard. Remember his days also with the United States Olympic team. And that loss to the Russians, Doug Collins
never took the medal. Never took the silver medal.
No, they didn't. Hit some big free throws down the stretch in that game.
Michael Jordan now will probably take it to Vince, playing with 5 fouls. Jordan misses. Got it back, though.
A smart move by Jordan. You notice he jumped in with both feet on the floor. It's the only way he can touch the ball again, quickly reacting. And see the smart play by Jordan, Rod, trying to go right at Vince Carter. He tried to draw the foul, knowing very well that Vince has 5 fouls on him, and Vince astutely got out of the way as quickly as possible.
Expect Washington to drive on Vince, playing with 5. Morris Peterson has 4, so the Raptors in loads of trouble, not only with the Wizards, but also right now with some fouls. Chris Whitney watched by Carter. Jerome Williams right up on Hubert Davis. Davis driving inside. Nobody to get it to. Gives it to Whitney. Three-pointer. Buries it.
I see difficult matchups right now. You have basically 3 guards on the floor for the Wizards, and Jerome Williams having to cover Hubert Davis.
Williams baseline, nowhere to go. Akeem has no one to pass to. Olajuwon gives it to Keon Clark. 15-footer, Kwame Brown's hand in his face, and he knocks it down.
That's a tough shot by Keon, but the Raptors need some spacing, Rod. Jerome Williams is almost acting as a defender, being so close to Keon Clark. He's got to get out of the way in there. They have to have some better movement without the basketball.
Davis to Brown. Michael is watched by Alvin Williams right now.
And Michael wants that ball swung to one side so he can get the ball in the post. That's exactly what they want to try to avoid. Doug Collins up on his feet right now, talking to Hubert Davis to hang on to the ball, kick it out to Michael Jordan. He's got the height advantage over Alvin Williams.
Michael with 17, a 6-point lead.
The NBA on CTV, brought to you by Hyundai. Driving is believing. And by Schick Extreme 3 triple blade disposable razors. And by Moore's Clothing for Men. Well made, well priced, well dressed.
Back at the Air Canada Center. Third quarter woes indeed. 4 points between 3 players. Akeem, Morris Peterson, and Vince Carter, not good enough. And against a team that at the beginning of the season you looked at the Washington Wizards and you said, okay, that's a W. Nobody's saying that right now. They have won 5 straight games. Vince working on Michael Jordan. Right up on him. Carter with 8 on the shot clock. Forced that shot up there over Michael Jordan.
See, great defense by Michael Jordan, taking the drive away, getting ahead of Vince Carter, and getting a hand up on the shot. And Michael Jordan is talking to Vince Carter right now. Vince doesn't look too happy about what he's hearing.
Well, Michael is known for his trash talking as well.
Well, he's very good at getting in your head, reminding you that you're missing your shots, and he's going to remind you that he's making his at the other end of the floor. Michael Jordan, the master of the psychological game.
In the preseason, Michael Jordan 5 for 5 in the second half. 19 points. Preseason, Vince got the better of Michael, but that was the preseason. And Keon Clark, good hook shot, 78-72.
That's just a strong move in the lane by Keon Clark. He's got to attack Kwame Brown. Somebody's got to get these things done offensively, and Keon Clark is as capable of anybody, and the matchup is favorable.
Michael demands the ball again, and a foul.
They're calling an offensive foul on Michael Jordan. Alvin Williams doing a great job of fronting, and Keon Clark is cheating over to get to him.
Jerome Williams will sit down as we take a look at the foul by Jordan.
Yeah, see Jordan a little brush off with the hands. Alvin Williams made it look a little worse by leaning to the left and fell that way as Jordan gave him a nudge. That's foul number 3 on Michael.
Tracy Murray is into the ball game to provide some three-point shooting. Raptors were very successful beyond the arc in the first half. They have been absolutely silenced by the Wizards here in the third and fourth quarters. Hakeem, fade away, good.
This is what the Raptor bigs have to do. We saw Keon Clark go at Kwame Brown. Right now, Olajuwon has to work Hayward. You're talking about young big men. That's why Popeye Jones has been inserted for Kwame Brown. Doug Collins knows the Raptors might make adjustments.
And a whistle and a foul. Tracy Murray. Popeye Jones may be one of the best players in the NBA at taking the charge.
Oh, he's tremendous from his days as a Toronto Raptor. Everybody remembers that well. If there's a charge to be taken, he'll find a way to get there. And again, his offensive rebounding abilities are tremendous.
Popeye Jones knocked out of bounds by Hakeem Olajuwon. We saw 2 of the NBA's 50 greatest players collide at the rim. Jordan and Olajuwon. Richard Hamilton returns to the ball game for Washington. Not good news for Toronto, who has 25.
And the way the Raptors have been playing, Doug Collins has had the luxury of giving Michael Jordan quality rest time as well as Richard Hamilton.
Brandon Haywood into the ball game, and he fouled Alvin Williams, who very alertly threw the ball up of being fouled.
An intentional foul right there. Brendan Haywood grabbing on, and Michael Jordan telling him right now, hey, get 2 hands on the ball. Don't try to make a play. Just grab the basketball and don't let anybody take it away from you.
And they are sending Alvin Williams to the line. An uncontested lane to the basket. Likely would have been a lay-in, so they will let him shoot 1.
Get possession of the basketball.
And a chance now for Toronto with a 3-pointer to pull even. The Raptors, if you're just joining us, had a 19-point lead. Looked awesome in the first quarter. Alvin Williams rattles one home, and we have a 1-point ball game now, 78-77.
Raptors need Alvin Williams to regain that confidence he had last year, where his percentages in the fourth quarter far exceeded, as well as his scoring, in his regular or three-quarter numbers.
Richard Hamilton, Vince Carter coming over aggressively, playing with 5 fouls. It's a gutsy move by Carter. Good defense.
No time to hold back. You want to play smart and with your feet. Just like Popeye Jones did on that play, Rod, and you were
taking the charge.
Right on cue. You made that comment. He's so good at getting ahead of the basketball. He sees when players are out of control. He looks to see if their head is down. As Tracy Murray catches the ball, Popeye Jones just gets there, realizing there's no way Murray's going to be able to stop and change direction in time.
It's like a Scott Stevens hit there on Tracy Murray. Usually the guy getting hit is wincing. 78-77. Popeye 18-footer is good.
That set shot, Michael Jordan holding the fort. All the Raptors are very conscious of keeping that ball in Michael Jordan's hands. That's why everybody's dropping down. That jump shot is now available.
Vince wants the ball, posting up Michael. Spinning, in and out. Olajuwon was there, but knocked it out of bounds. And a timeout on the floor. With 5:51 to go in the fourth quarter, a 3-point game. Popeye Jones takes the charge and then takes charge. Wizards by 3. Welcome back to the Air Canada Center. Today's attendance, 20,048. Wow. Coming up next after the ball game, most CTV stations, the best of Off the Record with host Michael Landsberg today. Beach volleyballer Jody Holden and Norma Wick among the guests to just spew on sports and go off the record. Michael Jordan, 19 points from the elbow, the fall away. Keon Clark the rebound. Rebound number 8 for Clark to go with his 8 points.
The Raptors have shot just 30% in this second half, and they're 0 for 5 from behind the arc.
Olajuwon posting up the rookie Haywood. Keem inside, gave it right to Popeye Jones, who gave Keon Clark an elbow.
Great defense by Brendan Haywood. Rod, he does such a good job with positioning, understanding he can keep distance.
Michael Jordan will go to the line. Tracy Murray slipped. Jordan looked like he might try to perform some of that old Michael Jordan magic, and then was fouled.
Michael Jordan quickly changed his mind, realizing it's not going to happen. Tracy Murray falls down. Jordan goes right to the bucket, draws the foul right there, and uses his body wisely to gain the contact.
You know, he is 38 going on 39, hasn't been in the league for 3 years, still has those 6 rings. He's a Hall of Famer. He still has the mystique.
Oh, absolutely. And Rod, you know, regardless of what anybody says, he just, in my opinion anyway, he doesn't have to be the Michael Jordan of old. You could see how smart he is, how he understands the game, and if a guy wants to come back for the love of the game, why not? And take a look at some of the young stars around this league and the records of their teams right now. This Wizards team has won 10 games after winning only 19 last year. Michael Jordan is the reason.
Vince Carter pops out, tries to drive on Michael. Good defense from Jordan. Keon Clark, strong to the basket, high off the glass. Washington ball again, and Michael Jordan right there.
And this is a pretty good rebounding team right now on the floor for Washington. Jordan can step in and grab some rebounds. Popeye Jones is an excellent rebound, and Haywood's size is becoming a big factor.
5-point game, 82-77. Jordan open jumper. Popeye Jones fighting underneath with Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem with rebound number 8.
And that last jump shot by Jordan, you could see the effect possibly of the sore knee. That shot very flat, hitting front rim.
Hakeem from the free throw line. Keon Clark rebound, fresh 24. Vince Carter has not scored in the second half, by the way. Clark muscles to the basket, and again off the iron.
Popeye Jones, big rebound. He's got 7 now in the game.
Under 4 to go in the fourth. Alvin Williams the steal. Williams to the basket.
Great play by Alvin Williams, Rod, but the Washington Wizards are doing a very poor job of getting Jordan the ball in the post. When the pass is there, they're not throwing it, and they're giving it to him late where the defender's got a better chance of intercepting like Alvin did on that last play.
Chris Whitney launches and hits and is fouled. And that will be a chance to make it a 4-point play.
Not a good foul at all. Watch Chris Whitney, nice job lining up the shot.
It's actually under. Is that Whitney who got the foul? Actually, it looks like it's Brendan Haywood.
Yeah, under the basket.
So the foul is under the basket and not on Chris Whitney.
Yeah, close contact on the shooter there, dangerously close by Vince Carter.
And he would have been out of the ball game.
Exactly, the foul away from the bucket. Looks like Hakeem Olajuwon picking up the foul on Brendan Haywood.
But the Wizards still can make it a 4-point possession. The 3 ball by Whitney. The foul by Hakeem, clearing out the rookie. 85-79, 3:32 to go in the fourth. Hubert Davis, Michael Jordan.
He has the patience of getting the ball back in, resetting in the post. One of the few times Washington has done a good job of getting Michael Jordan the ball. Had they done a better job, who knows what damage he could have done at this point.
Vince Carter, 23 points. Shutout in the second half so far. Michael Jordan creeping up on Vince's numbers. Richard Hamilton has been outstanding today. And Jordan and his Wizards could make it 6 wins in a row. A couple of weeks ago, this team was reeling. They had lost 8 straight, and everyone was all over Michael Jordan and his comeback attempt.
Well, and one of the players that has really made a difference was the young man who just made that free throw, Brendan Haywood. He's really changed the fortunes of this Wizards club, and another defensive play by Washington.
Alvin Williams with a block on Richard Hamilton. Washington ball. They work the pick and roll to Antonio Davis back in the ball game. And then it came the other way, and Hamilton
had a contact on that play and no call. Nice job by Whitney to push it up the floor to Hamilton.
Hamilton, open shot again. Blocked by Keon Clark. Jordan gets it to Whitney. Again, the three-pointer. A guy who was cut by the Toronto Raptors 5 years ago. Couldn't make this team, is coming back to haunt Toronto.
Three-point field goals. Washington 3 of 4 in the second half. Raptors haven't made one yet out of 5 attempts after making 7 in the first half.
Biggest lead of the ball game for Washington is 10 and under 3 to go.
It's one and done on the shots for the Raptors. Brendan Haywood holding the fort down low. Michael Jordan showing a lot of confidence in his teammates, Rod.
Brendan Haywood. Looks like he's been in the NBA for years, doesn't he? Whitney again. In and out. Antonio Davis, and now the Raptors have to put the hammer down. Mo Pete for 3.
First three-pointer, as we just pointed out, Mo Peterson. Doug Collins is yelling to his team, pick him up. Don't give up the 3 in transition.
And now play some defense if they want to get back in the ballgame. Yes, these Wizards are for real. Jordan trying to make Alvin Williams look like Brian Russell, but he can't.
Good defense that time by Alvin Williams.
Antonio Davis facing up the rookie. Blocked by Haywood. What a rejection.
And great defense. Did not allow Antonio to use the first step. Got off. I mean, Brendan Haywood understands one thing very clearly, Rod. Brendan Haywood realizes that he's a 7-footer with great arm wingspan. He can get back. Look at the distance he's giving Antonio, and yet he can still get up and challenge on his shots. That's maturity by a rookie to understand how to play and who he's playing against. Not only blocking a shot, but being able to keep it in play and get possession of the ball.
Coming up on Canada AM this week, celebrating Lloyd Robertson. He's 25 years, CTV, along with my partners Lisa LaFlamme and Jeff Hutchison. Back at it tomorrow morning, bright and early.
Bright and early. I love watching you in that show.
The ratings
maybe one day I can get on that show with you.
Ratings will go up when you are on that show. I cannot believe what has happened to the Toronto Raptors again. Almost scripted. They come out gunning early on. They get out to a very quick lead. Wizards come back. Talk about it. You can mention the third quarter blues, and the same thing happens. This is a broken record that keeps repeating itself.
Well, Rod, the Raptors get away from their strengths. They do a great job early on. They rebound the ball. They push the ball up the floor, and they look to attack the basket, getting to the free throw line, as we talked about in that first quarter. Second, third quarter on, they get away from that. It seems they get very comfortable, and they go away from the things that work.
Vince Carter looks numbed by this afternoon's experience. 23 points in the first half and bageled in the second.
Well, Vince Carter himself in the first half has scored more points than the Raptors have put up in all the quarters. When you look at 18 points in the second, 16 points in the third, and 14 points so far in the fourth.
So what do you do with this Toronto Raptor team right now? Vince said that they've been playing awful. He knows it. He says we have to be patient, that it's...
But everybody knows it. That's all they do is talk about it. You watch game tape, you can see, accentuate the positives. When this team pushes, when they play aggressive, good things happen. They forget the things that get them to lead, and again, they get comfortable, and everybody's got to step up and get the job done.
Michael Jordan.
Nice move.
Had Alvin Williams in the air, in and out. Haywood is fouled underneath, and he'll go to the line.
Doug Collins is doing a great job with this group. With Michael Jordan on the floor, remember the confidence that he exudes. Everybody believes good things will happen in the fourth quarter. When Michael Jordan has the ball, the entire defense focuses on him. Doug Collins basically telling his guys, Brendan Haywood, Popeye Jones, when Michael's got it, get to the bucket. If he misses, that's your rebound, that's your basket, that's your chance to get to the free throw line.
Michael's got a few words for Vince Carter here.
He's had more than a few words in the second half. Every time Michael's knocked one down, he's come back and reminded Vince that, hey, I'm the old guy. You should be doing this. And again, he'll wear you down psychologically. He'll keep getting under your skin, reminding you of the littlest things that could upset your game or get you off an even keel.
21 for Michael, 23 for Vince. Many people think that Michael Jordan, when you think of all the highlights, one of his great accomplishments would be to get the Wizards on the winning ledger, and he has done that.
He's done that in a big way, Rod. You look at what the Wizards have done. If this happens to be a W for them, it's their 6th straight win. They've not won 6 in a row since 1997.
Interesting to see Vince Carter laughing and chuckling with his team down by 9. Keon Clark, reverse lay-in. 7-point now, and the Raptors have to put some pressure on Washington.
And right now, even in a desperate situation, the Raptors not attacking the ball very aggressively.
Last minute. Michael Jordan's return to Toronto. And very successful for his Wizards today. Alvin Williams knifing inside. Good play by Alvin Williams. It's a 5-point game. Raptors need a steal, and they need some help here.
A strong drive by Alvin Williams, not settling for the jump shot, looking to go right at Brendan Haywood.
Defensive stop. Tyronn Lue will work the clock down. Vince cannot foul Tyronn Lue. Brendan Haywood with the shot clock at 4. Lue inside.
That's a travel right there. Tyronn Lue hesitated, took an extra step, wasn't sure as to what he was going to do.
22.6, 91-86. Still a chance for Toronto. Ball club has really got to do some soul searching. Tyronn Lue, and this will seal it. Richard Hamilton emphatically puts it down, and the Washington Wizards have come into Toronto and dumped the Raptors.
Richard Hamilton, big in this game, right? 27 points.
And Michael Jordan and the Wizards have absolutely shut down Vince Carter and the Raptors in the second half. Morris Peterson with the basket. Toronto will lose its 4th straight. And Washington will make it 6 in a row for the first time since 1997. And their record will move to 11-12. Michael Jordan versus Vince Carter. Almost even Steven on the stat sheet, but the bigger number is in the win column, and it goes to Jordan's Wizards. 93-88, and Richard Hamilton has been the beneficiary of Michael Jordan and his comeback. 27 points for Hamilton today. Hamilton playing well in Toronto. Here's Sunil.
Richard Hamilton, well, second half, third quarter, what exactly did you guys do to take them completely out of the game?
I mean, we just played aggressive on defense. You know, we really ran our offense, ran everything through. Jihadi and Big Brendan did a great job of setting the screens, you know, to get me open, get Michael open, and it was a team effort.
It was also a one-on-one battle between Vince and Michael comes out on top in this one.
Oh, Michael did great. I mean, Vince did great, too. You know, I mean, they're both great players. You know, you really can't take anything away from both of them. You know, but it was a team game, and we're just happy to come and get a win.
Congratulations. Rick Hamilton, 27 points. Rod?
Well, statistically, it was a push. But the Wizards and Michael beat the Raptors by 5.